What's up, guys? Dave Van Auken here with Fight Bananas. And, we've been doing it a couple weeks in a row. 10 minutes, the biggest topic in MMA. We're just going to get right into it right now. We have a new UFC middleweight champion. Sean Strickland will get his flowers in a couple of days. But let's talk about maybe the biggest star on the card. The card was built around him, Sydney, Australia. It was the Israel Adesanya card, right? He was maybe going to fight DDP, Drew Plakis. Who knows? Trilogy. Maybe he was going to fight. There was rumors of Jan Blachowicz, Yuri Prohazic. Who knew who Izzy, Israel Adesanya, was going to fight? But he was going to fight on the card. It was his pay-per-view. The man did headline 12 UFC pay-per-view events over this last 4 or 5 years. The man's a superstar for the UFC. But he lost the championship, guys, pretty decisively, 4 rounds to 1, especially the first round being knocked out. What's next? What happened? Maybe more importantly, what happened in that fight? Let me just throw at you guys a couple of things that, not excuses. Maybe just a couple of reasons on what happened and why he lost to Sean Strickland. And like I said, we will give Sean Strickland his flowers at the end and going forward in a couple of days. First of all, it was his pay-per-view. Maybe it was just too much pressure. I remember a couple weeks back, they had an interview with Izzy, and his team and his coaches talked about how much money I think it was $300,000, if the number was right, about how much money that he spent on getting tickets for his team and friends and family, and making sure the building was sold out of that nature, and donating and giving back, and that's just a lot, right? It was his event. To be just brutally honest, we talked about this for a week or two going into the card. It wasn't a great pay-per-view. It felt like it was a sandwiched pay-per-view. And, I know there was deals and TV rights that were put over there to Australia, and they kind of sandwiched this pay-per-view, and it was the Israel Adesanya show. And it's anytime you do that for any man on this planet, it's a lot of pressure. It's not just about fighting anymore. It's about ticket sales and butts and seats. You get an ass every 12 inches in that arena. So just the fight is enough. But when you kind of put all that extra pressure on you, a lot can happen inside a man's head and psyche. So I just think having that pressure of being home and making sure the building was done right, and city kickboxing and having so many fighters fight on the card, and just being the hood ornament for the pay-per-view, for your team, and just for the event itself. So that's one. Two is, and I think I haven't really heard this, and I'm happy I'm bringing this maybe to the platform and out there in the media space, is Israel Adesanya just went through maybe the most emotional rivalry in UFC history. The back and forth with his, long rival Alex Pereira, and he just won. It's when you lose against your rival, you get more hungry. You probably wake up early. You're bitter. You're angry. You're upset. So on and so on and so on. You can throw in the buzzwords wherever you want in there. But he defeated Alex Pereira 6 months ago in Miami. We all know the bow and arrow, the knockout. There has to be, I would assume, and I've had some nice key moments in my life, it's probably the greatest release of exhale that you can have in your life. You have a kid, a son, you get straight A's in your report card, a wedding, whatever it is, you exhale. And when Israel Adesanya defeated Alex Pereira, he had to exhale. There's just, you can say he didn't. He can say he trained as hard as he said. Whatever the man says, there is no way on God green planet that man didn't emotionally exhale through the greatest rivalry of his career. So I just think, not physically, mentally, emotionally, he had to take a emotionally dump. He had to recess and just to kind of fight. Like I said, it was only 4 or 5 months and get right back into it. So I just don't think he took the proper amount of time to get his bearings back, to kind of get the hunger back, and whatever the time and whatever the the right mojo is. I just don't think he got over that victory enough. He didn't celebrate enough. He didn't do the take enough time away from the game. I think that just happened with literally Aljamain Sterling. He defeated Henry Cejudo. Take the rest of the year off. You just defeated the champ. He won 2 times. Take 2023 off. Fight Sugar Sean in 2024. That's what he should have done. So I think the emotional win. Then International Fight Week happens. Volk's the main event. DDP Duplessis defeats Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker. And let's just be honest. The rivalry's on. He's in the cage. We all know the words he says. It's war with DDP. He's going after him, and it's already ramped up, we think, towards UFC 293, Izzy versus DDP. So now he's trying to ramp himself back up. And I think, to be honest, I think he knows that. I think he's down from the Pereira, and I think he needs to jolt himself back up. And I think that's why he went so hard after DDP. And I know he went after him, and I know there's the rivalry there. Maybe he's trying to sell pay-per-views too, but I think he's trying to jolt himself up. Then 10 days after that, DDP says, I'm out. I got my foot's hurt. It's not right. I'm out. And where are we going? There's rumors right away. It could be Sean Strickland. Then there's times, Sean Strickland wants more cheese on the sandwich. Like I said, there's rumors he might fight a light heavyweight. Izzy needs to be on this card. He needs to fight someone. Then finally, the Sean Strickland, fight finally finalizes. So I just think everything came so quick. He didn't have enough time. And then, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think Israel Adesanya will never admit this. I don't think the team will never admit this. I don't think they ever gave Sean Strickland the credit, the enough, hey, this guy could beat us. I don't think when they walked out for Alex Pereira both times, they're like, okay, guys, we have to be on our toes. We have to be ready, or we're going to get knocked the fuck out. And I don't think they ever felt like that walking that aisle for Sean Strickland. That's just my 2 cents. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be right. So I just don't think they ever gave Strickland the American Express credit that they gave Pereira and probably even Robert Whittaker and maybe even Jared Cannonier. So I think they probably underrated him, overlooked him, which is fair. We did. I did. Las Vegas did. And probably so did you. So, and then lastly, and then this is given credit to the new UFC middleweight championship. Of course, Styles makes fights. The pace of Sean Strickland, everyone's been talking about the distance of the kickboxing distance into the boxing distance where Sean Strickland wanted to be. Sean Strickland connected in late in the first round, and Izzy just really never got past that. Where it's kind of funny because Izzy did win the second round, and that's where Coach Eric Nixon said to Strickland, hey, we're not coming here just to watch Izzy and to maybe go back and forth and lose a point strike. So that's where Strickland really turned it on for the next 3 rounds. So he just never, Israel Adesanya just never took it to the next gear, never turned it up. And because one reason why is he was never the leader. He was never the captain inside that octagon. Sean Strickland led the dance. He was the leader in there. He was the captain. He was the pilot in that octagon. He was the guy in control. So it is what it is, guys. We have a new UFC middleweight champion. Those are just a couple reasons. Izzy's been headlining events. Maybe the man is just physically, mentally, emotionally tired. Maybe the man just needs a legit, just long 15-month break. The pay-per-view was at home. Maybe it was just too much. Selling tickets, kissing babies, a lot of media obligations, city kickboxing, and then the emotional win from Alex Pereira. Maybe it was just this. It wasn't really over. It was just a lot to mentally and physically and emotionally get over. And then you not know who you're fighting. Just felt like it was it was a hurried event. This event was Israel Adesanya main event against, we didn't know. We just knew, like, there was a permanent black marker with Izzy on the board. Who's Izzy fighting? DDP was kind of like this, even kind of thrown in replacement. And then it was Strickland. Did he give Strickland enough credit? And then lastly, Strickland just outworked the man. He outpointed Israel Adesanya to win the UFC middleweight championship. All right, there we go, guys. Dave Van Auken. This is Fight Bananas. There's John Jones. There's Masvidal. There's Bo Nickel. There's Pearl Gonzalez. There's G. We got to love the studio. We might be moving soon. We might be getting a bigger studio. We're working things out. A lot of stuff's in motion. 2023 has been a hell of a year. We're already excited for 2024. We still got a lot of stuff to go, so we don't want to look so far ahead that tunnel, but it's been a great year. Wednesday night, Ben and Bananas here live, back millions.co on all of our social channels here at Fight Bananas. And shout out to our girl, Maddie Levine, Peel back, hopefully back Wednesday night as well. Mike Cuddles, go get it. Jillian the Savage Robertson and myself, we have a good show. And yeah, guys, be good. We'll talk to everyone soon. I'm Dave Van Auken. Another edition